Hi everybody, it's your buddy Brad here. Today I'm just going to be just playing around. I'm going to be playing with some Glynnia3. I know I've done a tutorial before, or not really another tutorial, but on playing around with Glynnia. Today we're going to be playing around with Glynnia3, which is um, actually Glynnia2, but with added variables. So if you see Glynnia2 around, Glynnia3 is the same thing, only it has a R scale, D scale, R thresh, and a Y thresh um, uh, variable. So what we're going to do here first is not that. You can do a lot with just one transform in a Glynnia, let me tell you. So first, let's go ahead and add a post mirror, and by default it's on the x-axis. We're going to make that 0 and set that to a 1 on the y-axis. And you don't see anything different here because, well, it's a circle and you're just flipping a circle and you can't see it. Next, I'm going to use a pre-post Mobius. And we're going to set that to 1. And the reason we haven't seen anything change is by default, a pre-post Mobius with re underscore A and re underscore D set to 1 is the same as a linear. So it's basically a pre-post linear right now, which has actually no effect. So I'm just going to try adjusting some of the variables here on the pre-post Mobius. Let's set re-C to 0.5. Let's see, what do I want to set this to? I'm going to set that to 1. Re-B to -1. And then I'm going to move it around here some. And then I'm just slowly moving around, trying to see what I can see, so to speak. I have been working on trying to figure out how to actually explore more in fractal shapes. Exploring can be very interesting and very fun, and it's you'll be amazed at what you will find the more just slowly tweaking variables and moving things around. I am really getting into shapes that look like they are solid in 3D, but still there's still 2D fractals. I am really digging that look. Like, for example, like this right here. So if we once you find a sweet spot, I'm just slowly tweaking around here. something I'm really liking. I'm going to adjust the roll on this here some. I'm going to set to 90. And I'm going to enable view editing. Turn off the fine edit here. The fine edit button is a really great tool to use when you're wanting to explore a fractal, because every movement is reduced. I don't remember the percentage, but it's reduced at roughly, I would say, about 50%. So the moves that you make aren't as exaggerated. Exaggerated. There we go. Yeah. Like I say, I just kind of found this by accident, but you just play around with it. Play around. You'll be amazed at all the shapes you can find. And then I'm going to do a screenshot here. What a screenshot does is it basically just makes a copy of your flame. That way you can go back and change something, or go back to this flame if you do change something and you don't like it. So I am going to adjust some Y color shift here. And this is actually part of the post mirror variation. Something I personally added to the variation, because I use post mirror on a single transform a lot, and I always got very frustrated that you know, single transform flames are very hard to color. So I added the color shift to help with that. Of course, if we have it to 1, then we just play until we get the color we like. And then of course you can also change the gradient. Ooh, I kind of like that one. I like that gradient. I'm going to adjust the brightness here. And then I'm also going to adjust the fade to white. I'm going to bring the fade to white down, which actually makes like just the whole. It's not brightness per se. It just adds more white to the whole image. Sometimes when you use brightness, it might only affect like the center or of the flame. Fade to white, it adjusts everything a little bit more evenly, I think. And something else I've been doing recently is if you go to the gradient, take the contrast here. A lot of people don't realize that you can adjust these settings more to your liking. And So I'm actually setting it all the way up to 255 for the contrast. And then I'm going to set the gamma all the way down. Gives it a little bit more of a darker look. And then you can also modify it. Let's say if you like these colors, but you want them more spread out, you can go to here to frequency. And basically that's, you see over here, you'll see this white here, which is here now. Let's see here. Let's see, I have 5. Distribute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times I have that, basically have that gradient repeated on itself. And I know I said this is going to be a Glynnia, Glynnia3. I know I didn't talk about the variables. I'm going to do a quick screenshot here. Again, this really isn't meant as a tutorial. I'm just playing around. But you can see the on R scale, if you move it in negative, it kind of, you lose the image. I'm not sure why. R, but yeah, a little bit to the positive. You can fill it in. I've found that if you adjust it a little bit, you can add B transform. B transform with high power, about 30, can fill this area here. I haven't found anything to do with D scale. It just kind of moves around in a circular motion. And then we also have the R thresh and Y thresh. You know, sometimes you just gotta play with them. I found out that sometimes you have to go up a high value for these to show up sometimes. Really shows up kind of odd sometimes. I'm going to set everything back to default here. And of course, everything here I've just been some suggestions. And some of these suggestions I've told you you can apply to other flame other variations. Let's see if we do a screenshot. Of course, Glynnia can be switched out. I'm sorry, Glynnia3 can be mixed out with Glynnia. Basically, if we can just take a look at a Glynnia real quick. And if you want to see what a variation kind of looks like, we have this button up here. And it not only gives me the display hide variation effect. And basically this is what it is doing mathematically. And it's kind of showing you where all of the points of light are going. I believe, I know one side acts as a spherical. I don't remember what the other side acts like. But as you see, you can see the shape here. Oops. didn't mean to do that. Screenshot. And now if we go to Glynnia3, so basically we have half of the shape from that was here on the bottom. So basically it's chopped this in half and flipped. And that is for a Glynnia3. So it's kind of like a, like I said, they cut it in half and just flipped it. Flipped it? Yeah, flipped it. I hope I've given you something, some ideas to try. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And until next time, talk to you later. Bye.